Call meeting, Dodge County Commission, September 16th, 2014. Call this meeting to order. We will have a moment of silent prayer, and immediately after, Commissioner Williams will lead us in the pledge of the flag. Thank you very much. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have you had a chance to read your minutes?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of last meeting. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you. Correspondence, I have one card here from Opportunity Council. Thank you for your generous support for the Opportunity Council Incorporated and our program that for organizations like yours. The programs and services that we provide would not be able to continue and grow. It is with great appreciation that we say that thank you, and that our programs are better because of your support. Staff, participants, Opportunity Council. You seen it? It's up there. Okay. I gotta have that paper, please, that blue.
Not everybody signed in.
Huh?
There's still people outside talking to Bo that probably need to come in.
I'll just get one out.
All right.
You guys want to come and sign this paper?
Everybody have to sign it. That's not your stuff. It's hard though.
I'm going to read that now.
Is everybody in presence or just the people that want to talk?
Just want to talk?
That would be helpful.
They said they signed it.
Okay, could I have it, please? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's okay.
This be under question.
We lose some candy again.
Where is it? I guess, will you please read this and advise us, please? Go ahead, please.
It's amazing. Hey, Sharon, this is Johnette.
We've got 5 people in public comment.
Were you waiting to hear back from me on this?
Yeah, could you, do I have to read that under correspondence, or what would you like me to do?
Can if you would like. It was sent as correspondence. and-
You what?
I said you can if you'd like to, since it was sent as correspondence.
Okay, I just got it.
Right.
Okay. Okay, before we move on, we have one more correspondence. Dodge County Commission. Dear Commission, at our last meeting, I made a formal presentation as required by law in accordance with West Virginia Secretary of State. Before and after our presentation, President Sandor indicated he had something to say about the matter of our state qualification. The entire process was left without resolve, with President Sandor stating he would take no further action at this time, as advised by counsel. To further confuse the issue, it was incorrectly reported in the Herald Record as the issue of our qualification having been tabled. There was no motion made to table this, and we believe it was left unclear to the Commission as to the purpose of this presentation. Perhaps Mrs. April Connor, counsel for the Commission, could explain better the purpose of this presentation to the Commission. Our understanding is that there was no motion or vote needed at the time. What is needed from the Commission is that they can now officially notify each elected official as to the option and or condition for utilizing Dodge County Independent newspaper for legal notices to the public as stated by law. Sincerely yours, Michael Zorn. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. 1, 2, 3, I have 5 people that wish to speak, so that's, they each get 5 minutes.
6 there? But it's still 5 minutes.
Huh?
I said, I think there's 6 there.
Oh, Tammy.
I said,
1, 2, 3,
never mind.
4, 5.
Never mind, I was looking at that.
Well, listen, here's the question mark. We'll go with 6. You still got 5 minutes, okay? Bo, as soon as we do public comment, we'll move you up on the agenda, okay? I know you got something you have to do. All right, the first one is Patty Harris, Patricia Harris. Come right on up to the microphone, please. You have to talk in the microphone so we record everything. That's how we get our minutes.
Okay,
Thank you.
can I, hello?
It's on.
Okay. I'm not real good at this, so I apologize in advance. But we are working with a new organization called the People's Voice that we're organizing here in town to help with community cohesiveness. And instead of having so much division in the county, we'd like to see more working together and not so much rivalry. We can always accomplish so much more by this. And the Historical Society believes in this so much, we went on board with this as well. And we believe that this has never been done before, and I've given you guys a tablet or an envelope with this in it. What we want to do is have something that's called the Citizens Appreciation Day. Nobody benefits except the citizens. No business, no organization. And at the end of this event, we expect our account to be 0. It is a time when we can give back. The economy's bad. The people really have suffered through all of this. And we would like to have this on October the 19th, and I know my time is limited, but we want to have a meal that we will cater out for the entire citizens at no cost. We say don't bring your wallets, you won't need it. It's only a time to say by the local businesses, the organizations, the churches, everyone to just say thank you to everyone. And we would be giving away a chest freezer, a washer and dryer combo, a refrigerator, side-by-side, microwave, just numerous quality gifts. There's no charge for the ticket. When you go to the registration area, they will give you a ticket. That will be your meal ticket. You go down the line, and when you're finished with your meal, at the end of that line, when they will be serving you a drink, they will take that ticket and it would go into a large container that the prizes would be drawn from. And let me see if I'm missing anything out. There will be 3 different games for the children because we have to do something nice for them as well. So we're doing up to 8 years old. There will be a scavenger hunt, level 1 for them. And we're still working on the prizes. I apologize, we're not 100% there yet, but we will be by October 19th. Then we have a scavenger hunt level 2 that will be from 9 years old to 13, and those will be quality bicycles for them with helmets. And then we will have for the high school children, 14 to 18, we're doing a landmark search and find. And the Board of Education is sending, you see that big 11 by 17 that had those pictures on it. They're going to print off 600 of those and send home with every high school student so that every child has equal opportunity. And they would go and take selfies in front of 10 of those. They don't know which ones we will choose. The first one to do that and get back to the base, we're giving away an iPad and an iPad mini. And so these are things that they can use in their education in the schools. So it would help them, it helps their parents, everything. But this has never been done. We went home and Googled it. I challenge you to go home and Google it. You won't find it. No one has ever took the time to just say, thank you, we expect nothing from you, thank you. And that's our proposition for that. We have had amazing response from the oil and gas industry, a lot of the others. They all say that they've never heard of it, but it's a nice way for them to say thank you to their customers. We won't differentiate from borders or anything like that. Every item, and I forgot to mention, every item that we have, if it's possible, by the money that we take in from the oil companies, or what, if you guys are generous enough to do this, will be purchased from our businesses here. The only time we would purchase outside this county is if it's not available, and we can't. We want to keep our money here. And it's kind of a way to stimulate our businesses as well. We hope that you can find a way and appreciate the time. Thank you, Beth. Thank you.
Would you like to be on the agenda for our next meeting?
Sure. Yes, that would be fine.
Okay. Can you close that?
I applaud the efforts and everybody that's involved in the planning of this. This is good for our county.
I do too.
This is great, it's wonderful. You're a hard worker.
I hope that we see a big turnout.
We're expecting, just from what we've been hearing, a minimum of 1,000. It's huge.
Well, that's good.
And that's good business for me because when they mingle, they become familiar with the area. We hope they come back.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Harold Apple?
Start with, I'm 100% with Patty. I mean, I'll do anything I can to help with that, and she knows it, and everybody else knows it. You guys know that's not what I'm here for.
I know. That's okay.
They come back me in a corner here. I've got, they built a dam that's against me, I think you, Ralph, have went out and said, if you've seen the paper, there's no misprint, there's no nothing. Everything's right in that paper. I mean, it's what it is.
I was there today. I was there with Bo today.
And it's not right by no means. And I've called the clerk's office, I don't know how many times. And Bo just asked me there a while ago, I have never spoke to the guy before in my life. I mean, I've called and called, and I always get some secretary that calls, well, Katie usually, that calls me back and says, well, they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. None of that ever happened. None of it ever happened. And it's just, I'm pissed, I'm in a corner.
Excuse me for 1 minute. When you say they are going to do this, who are you referring to? Commission?
No, I'm referring to, I'm talking to the commission,
Okay.
and they say that the Rosses are going to do this, and the Rosses are going to do that, and they're going to do this, and it just keeps on going like this. None of it ever happened, not one single thing that the county told me happened, not one thing. Everything went the other way.
Okay.
And I just want you guys to do something about it, that's all.
Okay, Did you speak with Bo?
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
he seems that he's going to do something about it, but this is the way it was started. I heard this from the beginning.
Okay, well,
If his word's good, I'm happy as can be. I'm
Well-
tickled to death if his word's good. But so far,
his
there
word's
ain't
good.
been nothing been good.
Okay, his word's good because my word's good. And I guarantee you there will be something done about it. And you have the commission's word setting right here tonight that there will be something done.
That's all I expect. I mean, that's all I expect is taken care of.
It will. It's going to take time. It's going to involve some lawyers. It's going to involve some engineers. It's not going to happen tomorrow.
I can live with that.
Okay.
It's got to be taken care of.
Okay. The wheels are in motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kirkwood, where are you at? There you are.
I understand that we had the water tested, and you got a report from that. And at that time, you really didn't understand much of what the report said. And I want to know if you have looked into that and gotten it explained to you so that you could tell us what our water is like and what these reports mean.
Okay. You're looking for a response from me?
Well, you can give it during the rest of the meeting or whatever. I just want to know if you have done that, if you've looked into it, and you have that response. Are you also aware that we need to have the test include one more thing? That apparently there was something missing here, that it should be tested for boron also?
What I contacted, Mariana gave me the information or the information to contact Kendra Hatcher with Downstream Strategies, and I told her in an email that we needed something just common language that the average person could understand, and she responded with a letter, which I will read. It was dated August 22nd, 2014. It's to the Doddridge County Commission, and our address to Mr. Robinson and the rest of the Doddridge County Commission. On July 3rd, 2014, I collected a water sample in Middle Island Creek upstream of the intake for the West Union Water Treatment Plant. The results of the lab analysis showed no major concerns at this point about the water quality. There were no exceedances of federal drinking water maximum containment levels, MCLs, or West Virginia surface water standards. There were exceedances of the federal secondary standards for aluminum, iron, and manganese, but these standards are non-enforceable and are for aesthetic values such as taste, color, or odor. It is not uncommon for West Virginia surface waters to exceed these secondary standards. There were detections of fluoride and sulfate, but these values are acceptable for West Virginia surface waters. The total organic carbon, TOC, values are acceptable for West Virginia surface waters. The field measurements collected at the time of sampling, specific conductance, pH, and temperature are acceptable values for West Virginia surface water. There was a detection of gross beta in the lab analysis. Beta particles are released from the atoms of radioactive material. However, this analysis does not distinguish from what material the particles were released. There are natural as well as man-made sources of beta particles, and this detection does not necessarily indicate contamination. As this was the first sampling event, it cannot be determined if the values detected are normal for Middle Island Creek. This data provides a good snapshot of water quality, but multiple sampling events at different times of the year are required to understand the average conditions in Middle Island Creek. Thank you for the opportunity to work for the Commission, and I look forward to future interactions. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Kendra Hatcher. That was the report that she sent back.
Thank you. I do think that you need to look into the idea of boron. It was not part of that test.
Okay.
But there have been, my son-in-law works in the field and this needs to be tested for boron also.
Boron, what is it?
I don't know.
It's a metal. It's a metal that, Trout Unlimited and some other organizations are using in relationship to Marcellus Shale drilling. The cost of the test for that is really not all that expensive.
Mariana, you're up next.
Actually, I probably should have had myself put on the agenda, but I was contacted by, well, one thing I have to say, every time I get up to speak, it appears to me that Mr. Robinson is recording me and timing me, which is fine.
Timing, see?
Okay, that's fine. I was contacted by Kendra Hatcher via email to try to set up the next scheduling event. And you guys had agreed to do 4 during the course of the year. And she was wondering if it would be possible to schedule one for October, which would probably be good if you guys want to do it. But that's up to you. I need to contact her because I will continue to work with them to be able to facilitate this and do what I can to help because I feel it helps our community. So if you guys are going to stay true to your word to do the 4 tests for a year's course of time to continue capturing, it's a good thing. I also, Duke University was in, a couple of months ago, they also sampled upstream at the same site. I haven't gotten the results back from that. Once I get the results back, I will share it. They sample for some slightly different things, which would be good to have the comparison, and their stuff is completely free. The other thing is, I want to take this opportunity to state that at the last county commission meeting and the one previous to it, I had mentioned something about financial disclosure statements that elected officials are required to do once a year. I exercised my right as a citizen to FOIA those from the Ethics Commission, the West Virginia Ethics Commission. I was slightly taken aback that after having gone through the process of the floodplain appeal thing, where the county commissioners sit on the floodplain appeals board, that 2 of our commissioners made from the financial statements they filed with the West Virginia Ethics Commission, the 2 of our commissioners make at least 20% of their income from oil and gas production. Mr. Robinson was kind of taken aback that someone would mention this. Well, as elected officials, certain things become public record. The public has a right to that stuff. What I did was not anything to point any fingers at anyone or anything along those lines. The statements you file don't have specific numbers. But the mere fact that during the Mark West floodplain appeals hearing, the fact that 2 of our commissioners stated on that you made at least 20% of your income from oil and gas, and you were still allowed to sit on the appeals board, when Dan Wellings was advised by the same attorney to resign from the job because it was an ethical situation. Earlier in the year, one of our commissioners stated that they would do the ethically correct thing. So I'm kind of blown away by that. And also at the last county commission meeting, I felt like I was kind of told that because of the income routine or whatever, that someone would be sued. I was assuming it was going to be me if the issue was pursued. Well, all I can say is go for it, you know? Maybe I misinterpreted. Me personally, I feel everybody has a right to their private information, but if you're sitting in an elected position and you're filing papers on the state level that we all have access to, and when those things are mentioned, perhaps those of you sitting in these elected official positions that are supposed to be looking for all of our best interests, you might want to consider that before you speak out. Thank you.
I wish to respond.
I wish not to listen.
Well,
Or perhaps somebody needs to set the timer.
If you don't want to listen, you have the option of going through that door. Now, I'm sorry, but that's the rules. Now, the fact of the matter is, what I said was that if you were to find out through some way what my income was, because I said that's between my wife and I and the IRS, and that's protected. And if anybody gets that information, they've gotten it through some illegal manner, the average citizen, okay? Now, if that were to occur, and I found out that it was you that got that information, I most certainly would be suing you. If that never happens, then I'm not going to be suing anybody. And yes, I checked with the Ethics Commission, and I find it kind of amazing that they reveal that that this is public information, but the contact information, the first page, is not allowed to be distributed or FOIA'd. You know, they can give everything else out, but contact information, no. Which, you know, I just find that kind of amazing. But yes, I did check that out, and it is covered under the Freedom of Information. And that's fine. If you recall, what I said was I would check to see. And I did, and it was. So, you know, there's, other than the fact that, and just to clarify one more thing that you said, you said that during the Mark West appeal hearing that Shirley and I indicated that we owned 20%, or that 20% of our income. That was never stated in the Mark West. It was stated that we had interests in oil and gas.
I did not, and excuse me, I did not state that during the appeals hearing that you guys stated 20%.
You just did.
No.
You just did. I'm sorry. And I don't want to hear anything more that you got to say. So I'm through with this.
Okay. Amy? Eccles?
I've also never done anything like this before, so I'm not very good at this. But I live upstream from where the dam went in, and if we're taking any kind of legal action to resolve this, there's a really good chance we're all going to be flooded before it happens, even though we have spent 2 months contacting from the state level to everybody around here to have anything done about it. So it still puts us in a pretty bad position that legal things can be drug out for a very long time. I have 4 kids sitting there. Jamie's got 1 sitting down there. I mean, that's putting a lot of children in danger because action wasn't taken when it should have. The other thing is we live beside the Neely gathering station that never had a floodplain permit go through for it either. They have smashed all the culverts through that field, backed up water that is black and full of mosquitoes, and all of their stuff is still all over the flood zone of the field, directly affecting our household. My kids can't even go outside at night because of the mosquitoes now. And we can't seem to get anybody to do anything about anything.
What's the name of that? Neely, is that what you said it was?
Yeah, it's EQT's Neely Gathering Station. I did know the number, I think it's 14219 or something. But when it went in, I went around to all the neighbors, we wrote a paper, we signed that we wanted to have a public meeting. I took it up to the courthouse, it was stamped. We were told we would be called for a meeting, that we did not want it next to us racing. I have 4 kids, my sister-in-law right up the driveway from me has 2. They have breathing problems, they have rashes, they have eczema, they have sensitivities to chemicals that are being put around us. Nobody called us. I've still got the documented paper where the courthouse stamped it. Nobody called back. And every single neighbor who was not contacted for the flood permit, every single neighbor signed it. And nobody called us back.
When did this occur?
Probably midsummer, June. I didn't really expect to be talking, so I didn't have the paper with me, but it is documented at the, up with Katie. That's where we had it stamped. And we asked for a meeting for it to not be next door to us, and nothing. Now we have a black swamp water, so we can't see our house. So, that was all I had to say, just something needs to be done.
Thank you. Tammy, you got a question?
I'm fine.
That concludes public comment. Shirley? Public comment. Great.
Wow.
You shouldn't drink pop.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. That ends public comment. We'll go to new business, and we're going to take floodplain permit report first. I'm sorry, the county website's going to have to wait for a few minutes. Go ahead, Mr. Bo.
Thank you. Good evening, all. We received over the past, from August 29th, the last commission meeting through September 11th, we received a total of 14 floodplain applications, 11 of those being outside of the floodplain, which we have no regulatory authority over, 3 of them which are inside the floodplain. Those inside the floodplain are 14-273 for Antero Resources. That's for the Canton East Pipeline Access Road. It's located in the Grant District. This is an access road project. An existing low water crossing on Flint Run will be improved via installation of an ACB or articulated concrete block crossing. Studies that they provided show 0 increase to BFE. We're waiting additional permit approvals from other regulatory agencies. We have 14-275, again for Antero, for Beach Lick Road improvements. That is in the new Milton District. That project description is a road improvements projects to the Victor Pad that will involve culvert replacements of existing road crossings at Red Lick Run. And again, we're awaiting additional permit approvals from other regulatory agencies before taking action on that. We also have, very last one, 14-282, again for Antero, which is the North Canton Connector Access Road number 10, located in the McElroy District. The project description on that is an access road project. A temporary timber mat air bridge will be constructed over Riggins Run. A study that they provided shows 0 increase in base flood elevation. And again, we're awaiting additional permit approvals from other regulatory agencies before moving forward. We approved 11. Those 11 were the ones that came in between the last commission meeting and this one that were outside of the floodplain. Since we have no regulatory authority, those were approved. Still pending, we have 8 that are still pending, including 14-250 which is the CNX Gas Company red-orange water line. 14-251, CNX Gas Company orange-blue water line. 14-252, EQT OX11 pipeline. 14-253, Cone Gathering, Mead House Fork to OX11 water line. 14-255, Blue Mountain South Fork Bridge Project Number 1. 14-264, EQT OXF 43 well pad, and I'll come back to that one in a second. 14-273, Canton East Pipeline Access Road. 14-275, the Beach Lake Road improvements, which we talked about. Now 14-264 for EQT. This is located at the location where there was a lawsuit prior to at the Cup residence area of I believe it's Beach Lake. Mud Lake Run and Middle Fork Confluence. We have sent copies of this to both legal representation and our third-party engineering firm, CME, to get confirmation on the studies that EQT has provided to verify that their data and information is correct. This happened long before I was floodplain manager, the lawsuit that happened with prior submittals. I've contacted law representation, and they have said that they can indeed reapply for a new permit. So we want to make sure that we do this one absolutely, positively right and by the books. So we are taking that, and they are also still waiting U.S. Army Corps of Engineer approvals and things of that nature for that. So that one's going to be a while before we think any action is taken on that. So that's my report as far as actual outstanding permits and things. The situation on Central entirely, and Mr. Eccles talked and discussed. I talked to the, hey buddy. I talked to Mr. Eccles and his family, and I'm fully in agreement with their statements and their issues. Totally my fault, trying to do something, and no good deed gets unpunished. So it is a situation that we have to take care of, and we have to get resolved. The property in question is entirely out of compliance in anyone's mind. And so what we're going to be doing is contacting our engineering firm, having them come out and do an actual H&H hydraulic study on the property to actually show scientifically that yes, the construction that has gone on that property will in fact rise the base flood elevation and cause back flooding back onto these folks' properties, and it has to come out of there. There are other issues with not having proper building permits and things of that nature for structures that have been placed on the property. Those will have to come out too. So we're dealing with legal representation. April, I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon about this as well. So we've got that going.
What about the EQT gathering? Do you have any idea whether that permit ever went through?
I'm going to have to check on that.
Because it's been stated as pending and stated, and then never seen anything.
I'm going to have to check on it. And I will do the full check on it and try to get you data and information. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I will get back with you. If the culverts and things like that, you said that the culverts are being...
The field contained a full culvert that went from the road all the way through it, and due to them having large trucks in it,
Right.
they smashed it down, and it built up a great big brackish pond in the middle of it.
I need to come out and document that, and we can
Well, I have
probably
plenty of
get the company to
pictures.
get something.
There's just water in there that's never been there before. I
Never.
mean, you can see, I mean, you'll see.
And it's really bad health hazard for all these little, I mean, we have 4 children that aren't even school age, who can't go outside any time of day without being eaten by mosquitoes.
Understood. And hopefully that's something that we can deal with on a basis with the company and get them to correct that as quickly as possible.
I have a question on
Yes.
14282. You say McElroy District. We don't have a McElroy District. Is this actually a Tyler County piece of property?
It could be going into Tyler County, because I actually questioned that myself. That's what they have listed there as McElroy District on their paperwork.
So if it starts in Doddridge County,
It probably does.
so that would be McClellan?
It probably starts or ends in Doddridge County. I would say I can get more different information for you on that.
Okay.
these people with the problem of the possible flooding and the brackish water and that. So if they have an issue and it costs them because their property is flooded, is the county going to take care of that?
What I've advised is that, and I told Mr. Eccles and the family, they definitely need to take care of themselves. We're going to try to get this resolved as quickly as possible. It should have never happened in the first place. My fault.
So if it should never have happened in the first place, are you not liable for a suit? And so they can sue you if they've done.
I'm not-
I don't mean you, I'm
Yeah.
the county.
I'm not a legal expert. So as far as the ins and outs of the actual law, I honestly don't know. But what I can say is that they have every right to protect their property in any way that they see fit. And I would support them in doing that. We're going to try to get this resolved as quickly as possible and get that construction out of there, because it's completely out of what was promised that was going to be done on that property, and it's totally out of
Okay,
compliance.
second question, are there going to be fines?
That would be for the legal and the lawyers and the judges to, we have it within our ordinance to fine. So that will be set by I can't speak to that. That will be a legal issue that will be resolved.
Well, I would hope that they would be not only fined, but that these fines are at a level that's more than a slap on the wrist. Because otherwise, why would anybody bother following the rules?
I've been calling this at state level, trying to figure out who to get down here when we could not get anybody here to listen to us. And we were told that it does fall on the commission, and if you guys are not abiding by the floodplain ordinances that you have signed on for or whatever, that it can cause FEMA to pull the county's flood insurance.
Correct.
Or, they're supposed to be putting more in there. I hope you've talked to him, I mean, at least stopped it.
We told them cease and desist.
Okay.
We told them today that everything needed to be removed, that they've done.
Yeah, because last
And they
time I
promptly-
talked to them,
and they promptly
they told me
kicked us
they
off
were
their
putting
property.
more in, so I was like, come on. Even already.
Is there, if you were out there today, did you post a stop work order on the site?
There's actually no actual valid permit in place.
Well, you don't have to have a valid permit in place because what
We
has
gave them a
happened.
verbal, we gave them verbal, and
Well,
told them to cease and desist.
yeah, well, the point is, in previous situations, when stuff has happened, one in particular that I know of that's close to where I live, a stop work order was put on the site where a permit was never issued. It was put on and it was given to the folks. So you have the ability, according to the ordinance, to put a stop work order, whether or not you had a verbal agreement. But if they are out of compliance with the ordinance, you have the ability to put a stop work order on. And that should be placed visibly so the public can see it.
Understood. The simple fact is that if we do, and we can, the Rosses are going to tear it down, and they're going to throw it away anyway. So
So-
it's a dog chasing its tail.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They can tear it down, at least you did it.
What's that?
You did it. And as you have stated in the past, you have a photography background. If you photograph the thing in place, if it gets torn down, you still have proof that you placed it.
That's a valid point. It's a very valid point.
I would think that you would want to build the legal trail, not only by posting the stop work order, by sending it to them, return receipt, and then you have the receipt that they picked it up.
Well, again, and at this point, we're in a legal issue, and so we're in consult with Mr. Tennant to find out exactly how he wants us to proceed. Because we have to do this right, because we've got to get this stuff out of there, so we want to do it.
But if they haul more in, we can't stop them. We're just like,
Because there's no paper trail to say, hey, it's supposed to stop. So if they haul more stuff in there and dump it, ain't nothing will be happening.
But if you put the stop work order on, they can't haul more stuff in. I mean, that's how the gas companies have
who
reacted.
worked with the sheriff?
It stopped them from hauling more gravel in. to put in pipe yards, et cetera, once a stop work order has been issued.
We were,
I don't think he's familiar with these people.
we were told today that in no
And I think some of the commission
It was
is, I just,
their-
it's not,
property, and they were going to do what they wanted to do on their property. We explained to them, federal regulations say that you can't do that. We have state and local ordinances
We
that say
should
you
go
can't do
higher
that.
than there.
And we were told to get off the property. So it's an uphill battle. We'll do what we can. And again, it's pretty much in the hands of the lawyers at this point.
So if we all flood, is the commission liable?
That's a lawyer's question.
he's not gonna tell you that.
I can't, yeah.
You take it to
I
the
can't.
lawyer and let us know where we need to.
Get your own lawyer. Don't rely on them.
Guys, anything else?
Nope.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bo.
I do trust the commission, I believe it.
Okay. County website?
You've got handouts up there.
We have them right here. We have them.
I know that I left the,
You got one, Chris?
yes, I'm right, I've got the new one.
He gave it
I got her one.
Everybody want one of those, pass it out. I forgot to put a floodplain on the emergency services, and I forgot, I believe, the health department. Now, I sent everybody except you, I don't have your address, okay, your email address. But I've sent everybody a copy of this and have asked for input. I've not received any input. The welcome to Douglas County and the history goes in the center here, Patty has done, and she's emailed it to me, and I'll email it to them when it'll go in. The green line will be a marquee, and that's where you can put in, emergency information, meetings, stuff like that. So, it's before you guys.
What do you want? Approval?
If you think it's good, it's good. Yeah.
Are you in agreement? They can approve it?
Yeah, if they looked at it, I mean,
I sent it to them.
we send the emails and we hardly ever get a response that, you acknowledge or whatever, but you guys really need to look at it. What Tammy's printed out is what this company's come up with. And if you approve this format, it's good to go, but even after the point of good to go, somebody still is needing to be able to maintain the site and fill in the information. We've been working on this
November last year.
for a really long time, and it's been a real struggle. So this is the best we've gotten so far, and if you want to move forward, it would probably be a good idea to decide whether or not you want to approve it or not, and take it from there. But someone on a county-based paid level is going to have to maintain and be able to fill in the stuff. We've put in enough of our volunteer time just to get it going, and you guys need to decide. I mean, you have a good format. I feel there's a good format, a good platform, and it can always be tweaked, and things can be changed, but at least it's a start to get something out there. But it's up to you folks.
What do you think, Shrug?
I think it's a good one,
I like it, so.
yes.
I reviewed it. I didn't find anything wrong with it.
So you guys gonna make a motion
I'll
to
make the
accept
motion-
it?
I'll make the motion to accept. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Okay, so at this point, we need to contact the company.
I've got to put floodplain on there and add the health.
Okay, so there's two things that need to be added to it,
And her,
I'll send that tonight, Tim.
okay.
and tell them that it's a go with these two additions.
Mhm.
But who's gonna maintain it? I mean, it's only gonna be as good as the maintenance aspect, like the marquee, you know, that's kind of a thing that if there's anything special going on in the county, like what you guys wanna do with the appreciation day
That
for the
can be right
county
across the
residents, I mean, that's something that can be placed on the marquee, or, you know, like next year with the county fair, or if the
If-
West Union Celebration Days, or even like stuff like the high school football games or the sports events. But somebody's going to have to keep an eye on it
And do it.
and do it. So,
We have anybody right now?
We haven't got anybody right now.
Or is there anybody that works in the courthouse that can do it now, right now?
I don't know.
Neither, we clerk.
I mean, we've been mentioning this from the get-go, that someone, once the site was established, that someone was going to have to maintain it.
We understand that.
I mean, and the individual places, like for the different departments in the courthouse,
That has to be
that
put
can
together.
be someone in that department that can maintain it.
I just had a comment, not really a question.
Yeah.
The individual that you choose to maintain this website, shouldn't that be an in-house individual within the courthouse?
Yeah,
That's what we're,
That's what you're indicating.
as opposed to a volunteer.
Severe storm threats, things like that. can be
Well,
added
also,
to that, yes.
the other thing is the OES office, if they have to open up shelters, they can put on there where to go to, which, you know, which shelters are open and which, that was the main draw right there. Because people can use their cell phone and get on here and check that, and then they'll know where to go to.
Another nice thing to put on there would be when somebody, there's the water in some area, because forever, I'll come home, I'm forever out for like a whole day or an overnight and whatever, and when I come in and I run the water, it's like, whoa, it will sputter or whatever, and I'm thinking, yeah, water problem, has it been their problem, not anymore, do I need to run this for 2 hours before I use it? And who knows, you know, and if it's a Saturday or Sunday, I can't even check. So it'd be good to put that kind of stuff on here. There's no calling around.
What I would suggest is, if we don't have anybody in the courthouse who wants to initially, and I can understand because a lot of the employees are working very hard and in order to get their job done. What I would suggest that we do is to circulate the information to the various elected officials that we're looking, and that we would also adjust the budget if we can get some kind of an estimate on the amount of time necessary. We adjust the budget and that person's wages to accommodate. You know, it's difficult to get people to volunteer. If we pay, a lot of times there's...
Whitney Travis was one of the ones.
Pardon?
Whitney Travis downstairs, I think
She was on your
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah.
And that's who I kind of assumed, but I don't know that would be acceptable to her. But that's my suggestion on how we go about this.
I have a suggestion. I mean, 3 of you sit up there. You're getting a salary for doing the job. You're not really working in the courthouse. Perhaps you guys could alternate every other month to take care of it. It probably shouldn't take more than maybe a few hours a week.
want it done correctly.
Anyone can be trained, Ralph.
Another thing, there might be someone up at the high school, one of the kids, that could take this on as a project. Some of them are good.
Supervision.
Would it have to have someone with some kind of security issue so that things
Yeah.
wouldn't be put
Well-
on there as a joke? It would have to be someone very reliable that you wouldn't run into a...
Well, there's 3 IT guys at the school
Better
system.
than our 3 elected commissioners.
Well, you have to be
I know.
trained to do that kind of work.
Thanks.
And you have to have the free time to do it, correct?
I got Patty busy, she can't.
And you gotta know how to use the computer. Okay? Move on.
If I wasn't
Are you done?
I would be having...
Me?
You.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, can we move on? Okay. Murray Sheet Metal estimate for roof repair.
Do you have the estimate?
Well, I think I've got half of it here. I had it all at the beginning of the meeting, so I don't know if it got mixed in with your stuff. Because it's only one page and there was 2 pages when I sat down here to read. It hasn't went anywhere except across here. It has to be here.
I understand.
Because I don't have the page.
There's papers on this side.
Is there?
There's,
I think these are those.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No.
I didn't see it. Did I see it?
Can I use your lens?
oh, thank you.
You are director of the
Well,
You will to improve your house construction fund, but in our rules, we have the municipal laws, that if they are off, slide off, they're disqualified. So you don't have to worry, you see it on the, because none of will be on the law or anything, if they are
Could I make a 2-second comment?
we don't have a timer that goes that low. Go ahead.
I just personally, I wanted to thank you for painting the fire escape over there, and I
Welcome.
apologize, I've been so engrossed in my father's illness that some things have fallen by the wayside, but I want you to know we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
She went to
Great. We're on break.
We're on break?
that we weren't going to act on that today on the advice of council.
Well, nothing else needs to happen, then that's kind of
Put it back on the agenda or not?
That's up to you.
What's that?
You can just be writing the letter.
Yeah.
On what?
What it is, you're supposed to contact the officials? Is that what it is?
No, that has to be.
Okay.
You can have.
He just had to come to an open public meeting and say that he was informed. Because he said he had to come here and the Board of Education, so he could take their public business too. And the street school.
Not the word, but it's
Yeah, probably need some kind of reply.
So that's fine when y'all hire executive assistant.
Yes.
There is a process on that.
And that person, I don't know if they'll be qualified to run the website or not, I don't know.
You know?
That's all.
Can I say something, Shirley? It was talked about, but that's not on the job description, because I've looked at job description up and down. But whenever the executive position was spoken about, that was to be part of the duties. It's not there.
Thank you.
I tried.
Are we going back to Murray Sheet Metal now? Is everybody back on break?
You better call us back.
Wait a minute, let me go and tell them.
Back in order. Close the door, we're going home.
When I talked to Chad McFay, he said we needed to call the United Rental for that man lift and get it ourselves, but they wouldn't be involved in that.
Oh, they won't even coordinate for us?
He gave us the contact number to call.
So we're talking about the roof here on this
Yeah.
side?
It leaked by her office when it snowed and whatever, and it leaked up the courtroom when it snowed. And it doesn't leak when it's raining in the summertime, am I correct?
I don't know that I've noticed it, but I don't want to, I don't know what's going on above in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Like above,
yeah, well, if it was leaking, you would, it would come down there.
yeah, but the snow melt water
Yeah.
comes down pretty well.
Not necessarily true, as I understand it, there may be some buckets up there.
Buckets,
There are buckets, you're right, there are buckets in the attic.
oh yeah,
You are right about that.
above prosecutor's office,
Right, since we're upstairs.
right?
Right.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Murray Sheet Metal estimate for fixing the roof. Labor, 2 men, 5 working days, $6,177. Material plus markup, $1,219. Total budgetary quote, $7,396.
He
No
said maybe
warranty.
less than that.
No warranty or guarantee. Traffic may need to be rerouted. County is to provide the tiles from stock. Labor and material prices above includes applicable taxes and expenses.
Do we have the tiles?
There's tile down there in that building.
Okay.
396, 7,396.
And it says the commission has to rent the big man lift and pay for that. That does not include that.
What I don't understand is how we're going to get it, how we're going to know when they're going to come.
I think maybe we could arrange it, but they could coordinate with Murray
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Murray Sheet Metal for the delivery of that.
Yes, ma'am. Got a
I'm just
question?
curious, is there more than one estimate, or is that the only estimate?
There's only one.
We've been trying for a year to get somebody to give us an estimate. This is the only person that would.
That's understandable.
Now, didn't they work on this before?
Yes, yes. Do we need to make a motion?
We'll have to if we want to. Yeah, and I don't think we want to go much further because I hate to say it out loud, but winter is coming.
I'll say it for you.
Okay,
Winter's coming.
Butch said, I didn't.
Fall is here. Summer's over.
Since we have requested from numerous companies, I guess, is that correct?
That is correct.
We've got an estimate. I will move that we accept that estimate and that we then hire rent the equipment that's necessary to get them up there.
Okay, motion's been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion is carried. Okay,
I can call that
call.
rental place tomorrow, but I need to check back what is there. Remember, I've got the card that I want to be sure I got it.
Got it? Okay,
You would take care of that.
Yeah.
okay, good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Item C, Park Board appointment of member. Who's the member? Ocean County Park and Recreation Commission voted to ask you to appoint Timothy L. Bowen to the Park Board for a 3-year term to fill a seat vacated by Mona Morgan. Mr. Bowen has agreed to serve our county in this capacity. Thank you, James Messenger.
I'll move that we accept.
Motion has been made. We accept Timothy L. Bowen as member of Park and Recreation Commission for a term of 3 years. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Okay. Blockhouse Hill Cemetery Association. Come on up and talk to us. That would be you.
Would that be me?
I think it would be. I think it would be.
Okay, I'm not, again, not good at this. We have been approached at possibly taking responsibility for guardianship, not ownership, of the Pioneer Cemetery over here that is known as Blockhouse Hill Cemetery, but it actually is 3 cemeteries. And we had our meeting and all agreed we'd be happy to do that and let the ownership stay with the county as long as we didn't have to carry the burden of the financial aspect of it. Simply, we wouldn't mind, we're not financially able to do that. But we'd be honored to make sure that it's kept in a condition that would honor our founders. And it is really probably one of the oldest cemeteries in the county. And we would happy to be able to handle that any way you guys would see fit.
Do you have the paperwork? Clerk, does she have the paperwork on that, or you still got it?
I took up the folders that I...
You have the folders?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, there was supposed to be 3 names on the agenda for today.
But the agenda was already posted, but
Oh,
this is still coming under this, wouldn't it, April? If they appointed trustees, do they have to?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is still on the agenda, so you could probably still, I think, handle it this way.
we can still appoint the members?
Because you're doing whatever you have to do for this association.
Okay. All right. What was that guy's name?
Can I ask something here? Now, you're speaking about taking care of not only the upper cemeteries, the upper 2, but also the Catholic.
Taking in the old cemetery.
The
yes.
Catholic cemetery.
Absolutely. It's in horrible condition, and that's another thing I had spoke to you about that. We would like to do the initial cleanup ourselves, because if you get people in there with weed eaters with blades, they might damage those monuments. And so we'd like to clean it up and get it in a condition, and we have enough volunteers to go in and do that, and it won't cost the county anything.
There's The Catholic cemetery, St. Pat's Church, whenever they put the road through, St. Pat's Church was moved from over there and moved.
Right, that
And it
little,
was- I
that
think it
little
was act-
cemetery that sits up here behind
Yes.
St. Patrick's, right there. That is the original church.
That's the church that came from that cemetery.
What? How you spell it?
R-E-N-E-E.
Okay, Brown? Okay.
S-R-E-N-N-I.
Yeah, he prefers, but if you want the official, then it would be,
It's N-E-E.
Oh, really?
yeah, he hates it, but that's
I know, but
the,
that's.
yeah, if you have to be
That's
official,
his
yes.
official name.
R-E-N-E.
Her, and then Jennifer.
Jennifer Wilt. And those would be two of our board members, and they're very history-oriented as well, and they're good choices. I would support them.
How's Rennie spell his name?
Who?
Rennie.
R-E-N-N-E-E, is that correct?
R-E-N-E-E.
Oh, one N?
R-E-N-E-E.
Because I always spell it R-E-N-N-I-E.
That's correct. That's correct spelling.
Yes.
Okay, so the three people we need to appoint to the
And you were one, right?
Yes.
Cemetery Association,
Yes.
Blockhouse Hill Cemetery Association. We have three names that we need to appoint. Tricia Harris, Rennie Brown, Jennifer Wilt.
And we'll leave the rest of the aspects of that for you to decide, and we will just honor anything that you, we're here, and we will contribute any way that we can. Whatever you need of us, we'll be there.
We need
What
a
about Pauline Hall?
Motion to approve
Well,
this.
Pauline's still on it. She hasn't, see, the commission initially, when they first established this, they had 5 trustees. And now, basically, they only have 2, but Pauline's still one, and there was a woman in Clarksburg that Pauline said she hadn't been to any meetings for a long time. So, but this 3, then, that makes 5.
That's 5.
Now, we would ask, as far as paying that individual for whoever, to mow it, and perhaps the one who is doing it now would be interested in also picking up that little smaller cemetery. Will you guys go ahead and write the checks for that? Do you plan for those are things that we need for you guys to talk among yourselves, and whatever you decide on, we're good with. As long as it gets maintained, that's what we're interested in.
Okay, let's do one thing at a time here. I got some questions, okay. Shirley made a motion that we appoint the 3 people on the board. All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, 3 people are appointed to the Blockhouse Hill Cemetery Association Board. Now, you have 2 people that's already on there, and you have paperwork.
And Pauline and Nellie Daughtry were on the bank account to write checks.
Okay,
So Nellie resigned, Pauline is still on there, Nellie fixed it, that Pauline can still write checks. It was initially set up for 2 people's signature,
okay,
but Nellie got it set up at the bank, but Pauline's still writing checks.
okay. So now that would be between them to go to the bank and set it up however different they want to set it up. Now, the question she had is how is the commission going to pay for this? How has the commission been paying it in the past?
They have been getting donations, the commission has not been paying this man.
Okay,
The association has been sending out letters getting donations.
okay,
And then they have a bank account, they still have a bank account, and they've been paying this gentleman out of that.
okay. So can you tell me how much money they have?
But not right off my head, she has all
The-
the records.
Okay.
But the issue we have is that in taking on that 3rd little cemetery, which is the one that our founders is buried in, it's going to increase how much they're going to charge to do it.
Right,
And that is one position where the county may have to initially, put that in, or we can raise that money. I don't know how you guys want to do it.
how do we go about it? Okay.
We've donated some times to them when they come and ask us for
Money
it.
one time for the fence, and got the
Okay,
fence.
is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
It depends on how much money they have. They may have enough to last them a few years.
I know you said there were a couple of CDs or something that is,
They've been the recipient of charitable distributions and wills and things, so they do have some money in the bank.
Okay.
and if they have the ability to do that, my question would be, is that money designated for only those 2? because there's some reason that that little one at the bottom is not being maintained, and that money may be allocated for those two and not that one. And in that event, we would be left with no money to manage the little one. And that's our desire, is to maintain all three of them.
I believe I was told that because it was the Catholic cemetery, they felt the Catholic Church would be taking care of it.
It was really sad because when we went over there, Rennie Brown, Jennifer Wilt and I, and Lewis Maxwell, who Lewisport got its name, you cannot see the stone without moving the brush, and that is just so sad. Joseph Chevron, that Chevron Avenue is named after. You can't even see it. It's all under the brush. And that's just not acceptable.
My problem with the county funding that directly is then how many more in the county are?
I brought that up with you about that. And the reason for that being, every cemetery in the county does not represent the final resting place of our founding fathers from this town. And really the ones who are responsible for the growth of our county at a time when it was just being shaped. These gentlemen literally shaped the county, and they gave, Nathan Davis gave the ground that this courthouse sits on. He deserves not to have brush over top of his monument.
I don't disagree with you, but I am sure that there's somebody buried in every little cemetery around this county that their descendants would say, they helped shape this county too. So,
but they didn't give the ground for the courthouse. That is one angle that could legitimize.
What I would suggest is this, that the Historical Society adjust their budget requests next year, and then however you do it, you do it. If you
We could do that, yes, I
if you
understand what you mean.
where I'm coming from.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be my suggestion.
Okay, we could do that. We could figure out how much it costs each time that caretaker will charge for that little one, and adjust that for how many times it is mowed in a summer. And then from that, we can get an...
Adjust your budget
Yes,
request
yes,
next
we
year.
can, okay. That'll
I
work.
have one other question, and this, what if that cemetery actually belongs to the Catholic Church?
I guess somebody could inquire before you go and do anything on it.
If I could get a contact for the Catholic Church, I wouldn't have a problem. I can do that. But what we might end up by doing that is they say no, and it gets left with the brush up over the top. If they say don't touch it, we couldn't touch it.
Is there an abandonment? Is there a way that the county could do an abandonment for historical purposes?
Probably, but I can't tell you that right off the top of my
In the
head.
first organized association, they did do that one too, because I lived over there, and it was cleared for a while. Because I took my kids over there and showed them the different monuments, and I guess there's some basic stones where the church used to be.
You're meaning the blockhouse? Yes, the Historical Society cleaned it once, and then
Okay,
someone else
that's where-
cleaned it a second
I knew it was
time.
cleared at one time.
But no one maintained it, and it all grew back. But however you guys would see fit to handle that, we will honor that. Okay?
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Should I ask one more question?
Yes.
And this sounds dumb, but, I know I'm one of those people, or you all or whatever, because I wasn't raised here. Where is this cemetery?
Over here,
What now? Tell me a little more than over.
above the
here.
football field,
Oh, okay.
Blockhouse Hill.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just,
Just for the record, I was born in this county and lived here the majority of my life. I didn't know where I was either.
I can top that, Greg. Just for the record, I found out that my great-grandmother's, whose name and death date is on the tombstone over there, is actually buried in another cemetery. Just found that out this week. That's
So
weird.
you've got two tombstones for the same person.
Yeah,
Well,
How do you know where she really is?
I don't know. I don't know. We've decorated that grave for years, didn't know it.
It's okay, her
I
spirit's
can
not
see an
there.
exhuation, is that how you pronounce it? An exhuation?
That's how you pronounce it, but I don't want to do it.
I neither.
She just give this, do they have a copy of this?
Yeah, this, I found when I was doing
I'll
some,
Is it all right if I pick this up?
well, sure, it's in the book. It's just the copy of the minutes where the association was actually established, and it sets forth how many people are supposed to serve on the board and things of that nature. I just made a copy of it.
That might be a help though.
I'm sorry. That's fine.
Is that a record over here?
Yeah, this is part of the records
It's
that,
in the commissioner's record book,
because Ralph wanted me to look at this.
19 at page 14. And it specifies, it's got the bylaws of the cemetery association.
The copy was on 7-2. That's why it's got that goofy staple at the bottom.
And the terms of the trustees were 2 or 5 members were to be staggered. Initial appointments will be for terms of 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. 1 member's term being designated for 2 years, 2 members for 3 years, and 2 members for 4 years. Thereafter, all appointments will be for a term of 4 years.
So I didn't know whether that meant thereafter, after the original ones were set.
Yeah,
That's what I meant, so that means these folks would be.
they'd still be staggered, but you would be serving 4 years. It's kind of like the public service district, they're staggered. Have you looked over this?
That's, I think, what we just passed around. I made a copy of that.
Okay. Is Patty Harris on the agenda for next meeting? I want to make sure we don't forget that.
And this is for the Citizens Appreciation Day, yeah.
Yep, you're on the agenda
That's
for
voted
next
on.
meeting.
Okay,
What's the date on that?
October 7th, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
Oh, it's a 9/8?
Yes.
What's the date?
October 7th.
Oh, I thought you said September. Okay, I'm sorry.
You did say October 7th?
Yeah,
Yes.
9 a.m. Okay. We'll move on to set date for board review and equalization hearing in October.
The code says that if someone wants a hearing after the review and equalization time is up, then the commission can set a time in October to hear that. And we have,
Oh, we have one? Okay.
that's why David had me put that on there. He come up and
Does it have to be a day other than our commission meeting day?
I don't do it as it does. We just have to set a time for it,
Well, I'd say we set it for October 7th.
okay? Give me a time that you can tell them they have to be here.
10 a.m.
Fine. 10 o'clock? motion for that?
So moved.
So moved. Motion's been made, Board of Review, 10 a.m. on October 7th. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. That's what it'll be. Item F, County Clerk election. Appointment of poll worker. Appointment of early voter.
By the way, you asked about the money for the cemetery. They have a CD that the current balance as of 9/15/13 was $12,505.41. And it matured Monday of this year. The next maturity date rate and annual percentage is 9/15/14. And they have $2,000 and some dollars in the checking account.
Good for 20 years.
And
My question would be, are there any stipulations on that CD, and is there a requirement? There might be something in there where you
That will
can
have-
only use the interest.
And that
A lot
will
of
have-
times they do that.
Yeah, that will have to look and see what all's in here. And she had already sent letters out, Mrs. Daugherty had for 2014, and she's got a list of donations that she had already received this year. So, okay, yeah.
Would you be able to take that home whenever this is all done so that I could review that and set up a plan for how we would do that?
Yeah, I would say as soon as it's official, you all need to have a meeting and elect a secretary and a treasurer and that kind of thing, and then you can take that over. But the lady who's kept the record seems to have done pretty
Yeah,
And you guys will set that up so that,
We'll need to call Pauline.
okay.
She called me after we had the last meeting, and she was upset. She thought the way it read in the paper, that somebody was accusing her of doing something wrong. And I said, no, no one mentioned anything about you doing anything wrong. You've done your job all these years. And she indicated that she might like to, she said, I'm not well, which I know. And she said she didn't know if she would want to continue, so we need to talk to her about that. And when she finds out that we have some other members, I don't know what she'll do, that's entirely up to her. But she was upset, afraid that we were somebody was accusing her of doing something wrong. And I said, no, that was not the issue.
And we could always keep her informed if there's any,
Absolutely.
that, absolutely. We can always make sure that she's on top, even if she chooses to, how many years has she been on this?
It's all in these
Then
Then
minutes.
she's probably like a child to her. This is a piece of her.
I know they
Yeah.
had to go, at one time, most of the members had died, and they had to get a petition in court and get reestablished and commission reappointed, and she came on at that time, I believe. Because at one time, it was people like Chuck Williams, Olive Williams, I forget who all, and they all died.
I wouldn't mind even like an annual report for her. Would that be a problem with you guys? So that she is, kept updated on what is taking place and she wouldn't feel so removed from everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a legal reason we couldn't, but I would like to see
And
that.
she'll have to be contacted anyway, because
Right.
her name's the one on the checking account.
Sure. I just don't want her to feel, you said she kind of felt that. We don't ever want to do that.
This is the list of poll workers submitted by the respective chairmen of the Republican and Democratic Executive Committee. with those, we need to have a motion.
Oh, who was gonna call? 911?
I think they contacted, I think it might be security, because they called. Security US will also call.
Who?
Security US. They call, they usually call our office.
I'm gonna hunt it.
Here, make him have to run in here, make Fred have to run in here.
Who? Yeah, that's right. The guard has to run in and see what's wrong.
Yes. And yes, to tell everybody it's okay. I swear I don't figure he's falling asleep on me, but I don't think. Before we had the guards, we had things ran across the street. Molly Cursors right like that, and she kept, when she had to get up, she'd hit her knees. And go off. Then we wouldn't hear it.
For a long time, she had a cut over it. So she
Yeah, she taped a couple over so she wouldn't bump it. They found it moved it.
Well, they moved it, but that was too late, got moved.
Because we didn't hear the alarm go off and they kept running in to see what was wrong.
I'll make a motion that we approve the appointment of poll workers as suggested by the county executive committees.
Motion has been made to approve the appointment of poll workers. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is carried.
One of those is for early voting. James McKinney and Lois Murphy, they served last time and did very well. And emergency absentee ballot commissioners, Lorena Slater and Sarah Bland. The emergency ballot commissioners are if we get a call that someone is in the hospital and was not able to do early voting or it's too late to do absentee, then we can go to the hospital on election day and take them a ballot and can vote.
Okay. Somebody make a motion, please.
So moved.
So moved. Motion's been made for appointment of early voting commissioners and appointment of emergency ballot commissioners. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Okay, that conducts all our business with the exception of invoice. Thank you for joining our meeting.
Liam. See you, April.
April,
Yes.
thanks for sitting with us.
Does that mean you need to do it
Really?
Did you say you're glad or you're happy?
I said glad.
That's good.
You
We're glad to have you.
needing some entertainment or what?
That was entertainment, I tell you. Tammy was like, how long do I have to sit and listen to that before I can? And I said, you need to talk to them about it. Anyhow, will you call me tomorrow about a side issue?
Okay.
All right. Good night.
How long will it take?
A minute.
Okay. Can I be excused?
Yeah, I've seen a picture here.
Well, yeah.
You're just gonna sign invoices,
Well,
right?
here, can we set them bets off on
Yeah.
that basis?
Yeah.
That's what I asked you. Just a couple other issues that wanted to just mention. I'll wait till it comes back. When we get them.
Yeah, you might want to remember Mary Ann Dunn. She's in the hospital, and of course JB was operated on today from his husband. So she has her husband and her mother in the hospital.
Oh, my goodness. What's the matter with her husband? What's wrong with her husband? Oh.
He went through treatments to shrink the tumor in the colon. They think it's contained. And so they were to operate today. Everything's happening. I talked to David and they took him at 8:45 this morning. They told her not to expect to hear anything until at least 2 o'clock. So of course I left their doctors so I wouldn't know. But they are very optimistic about it. They put in the treatment to shrink it before they actually went in and operated. They said that depending on how things are when they get in there, they may or may not do some more treatments later. JB told me that. So, but her mom went to the hospital She was short of something else, so they were running some tests on her. So she's having some kind of a procedure or test done tomorrow. And so Donna needs a lot of prayers because she's kind of going crazy. And she's my ballot commissioner, and I have the absentee ballots. So I put an email for today, and I said, if you could stop over for Friday and sign them, that'd be great.